Mute. All right.
Yeah. We can turn that off.
I just turned it on there.
Okay. Ready to get started? She's being a busy bee already. There's lots of comments that she's answering to, so. Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming today. Next slide.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have the next
I have the next slide. Okay.
All right, so this is the Columbia Association Community Charette for our Natural Resource Management Plan. Thank you for coming. And thank you to all of the Zoom attendees as well. This is a hybrid format and the webinar is being recorded, FYI, but the view is only on us. So sorry, audience, you're not on the webinar view. I'm sorry. So my name is Danielle Tyre. I'm the Sustainability Manager for the Columbia Association. And I'm joined here today by Adriana Burke.
I'm Adriana Burke with Tetra Tech, and I'm gonna be helping facilitate and get your comments and your feedback for the Natural Resources Management Plan.
And then we also have Nancy Roth.
Hi, Nancy Roth, also with Tetra Tech. I'm the project manager for our support to CA for this effort. And today I'm your communication. If you have something to put in the chat, you have a question, something that you need some help with, I'm here to help with that.
Perfect. And then we also have Jeremy Scharfenberg here as well with Columbia Association.
Hi all. So I'm Jeremy Scharfenberg. I'm the Vice President of Community Operations for the Columbia Association. And just to kick us off, do a quick little intro. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, for taking time out of your busy schedules to provide input and sort of help us prioritize, provide some guidance around what are the interests in the community around Columbia's Natural Resources Management Plan. So just a quick synopsis. So the objective of the Natural Resources Management Plan from our perspective is to try to build upon some of the existing resource plans that we have, like our watershed management plan and our internal energy management plan, try to consolidate some of those priorities into one synthesis document that looks for synergies across different topics and also provides a framework perhaps for the next decade to establish some goals and action plans going forward around how CA manages natural resources for the community. And as many of you know, CA is already very much a leader in many of these spaces, from clean energy, solar PV installations on our facilities, to EV charging stations in the community, to our watershed management program, from being almost exclusively full cutoff, zero light pollution fixtures at all of our facilities throughout the community, to our very progressive invasive management program that's out there really actively looking at bamboo and other non-native invasive species that are a challenge within our open space. So, and I want to recognize everybody that's here tonight, because many of you in this room dedicate many, many hours of your own time to these same causes, whether it's participating in our watershed stewards program, whether it's volunteering to pick up trash on Columbia Cleans Day. So many of you in this room and online
Yes.
Yeah, and online. Thank you to all those folks online, are a key part of that success. And we really view the community as sort of a force multiplier, because what CA does within our own resources and our own open space and our own facilities is fantastic, but it only goes so far. The real impact is in the community, is within our residents, within the businesses, within the spaces they control, to really make Columbia as environmentally sustainable and progressive as it can be. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for your input tonight.
All right, so you may have seen the QR codes located around the room. If anybody hasn't already done so, please scan the QR code to load Menti. You can also go to menti.com. That's MENTI.com. It's back on the screen here. You'd enter the code 66414049, and that is going to take you to Mentimeter, which is what we're using tonight.
Yeah, so it's going to be a nice, fun, interactive tool that we will be asking you questions, and then you guys are going to go to menti.com and you're going to vote. You're going to tell us your priorities, what you care most about, so we can gather that information and we have the community's feedback and priorities to move forward with the natural resources management plan. So is everybody in the room connected? Ready to go into the first one? Hold on. Good? Oh, you're logging in on your phone to make sure. No, just to make sure. Okay. All right, is everybody almost set in here? Nancy, is everybody good online? Okay.
Hey, Drew, I have a question.
He might not be connected
Mhm.
with the iPad.
All right.
Should we move forward?
Yes, I think we're gonna move forward. Anybody that is on Zoom, feel free to put something in the chat if you're having any kind of technical issues, and we'll try to address that.
Okay. We're gonna move to our first mentee. What do you value about Columbia's natural resources? So you should have on your screen, you can type in, it's a word cloud. So you can type in a term or multiple terms, and then we'll start seeing, yay, our first one, our first response, trees.
I believe you can submit multiple if you're
Yes.
feeling feisty. So tell us what you value about CA's natural resources.
And since it's a word cloud, if there's anything repetitive, if someone also agrees with trees and birds, you can see that those are the biggest words because there is multiple people who value the same. Excellent. So far we have 27 people, and I counted, we have about 17 people in the room, and last I saw
21.
21. Okay, so love it. So it looks like trees, pathways, native plants, and birds are the most popular. But yeah, you guys are entering lots of stuff. Excellent. All right, so all right, so we're kind of stuck at 29, so we're going to move forward. Once I move forward, then you aren't able to enter anything more. So I think we're ready to move forward. So thanks for your feedback on that. That's excellent. Okay.
All right, so here we have our meeting goals. This is what we hope to gather from tonight's meeting. We want to know what the community thinks CA should focus on when we're drafting our natural resource management plan. So our process moving forward is in the new fiscal year, May 1, we hope to put out an RFP to look for a consultant to help us draft a natural resource management plan. We're going to provide the feedback from this meeting and have that help us drive our sustainability and natural resource management efforts moving forward. We also want to learn what amenities the community enjoys, what people use, what concerns you have that you'd like to see reflected in the natural resource management plan, any changes you'd like to see, and we want to learn what the community priorities are. I will say we have a variety of different question types, as you will see moving forward. Some of these require you to rank and rate things. I just ask that everybody puts some thought into it. Don't give them all 5s or 0s. We really want to get a lot out of this in terms of what people think. So your responses are mostly your own, other than just averages. So feel free to speak honestly in your rankings, and At the end, you're gonna have some opportunity for some open-ended questions. So if you're not seeing that early on, just know the last few questions will allow you to write out your thoughts and what we should prioritize. So we'll see all of that. We are also planning to have a future community meeting, so this won't be the only opportunity to provide your input. So please keep that in mind as well.
Okay, well, we're excited. We've been working on these questions and really getting at the amazing things you guys have in this community. So I, for one, am excited to hear what you guys think. What are your favorite spots? And so hopefully everybody enjoys this and is a great opportunity for you guys to tell them what you love the best. So here's the first one where you are going to rank. So with these, there's quite a number of them. So we're going to have a little bit extra time for this question. So they're listed in alphabetical order, but what you're going to do is use the bigger part of your finger to drag it up. And then that's how you're going to prioritize. Oh no, this one is 1 through
one's on
5.
right
Yeah,
one
yeah,
for
yeah. So this one's easier. So this one, for each one as you go through, you're going to rank from 1 to 5, with 5 being, yes, this is something that should be prioritized. 1 is not so important.
And you also have the opportunity to skip certain options. So if there are any of these where you have no opinions on and are very neutral, feel free to skip it and we'll see that. That'll be captured as well. But right now, this rating is from 1 of not at all to 5 of yes, please, in terms of what CA should prioritize in the future.
Yep. So it looks like you guys are spending some time so far. We've only gotten 1 response. So this is good. This is what Danielle asked, to take your time and really think about, so that we have some good data and truly what you guys prioritize. Oh, yep.
Question, Danielle?
Yes.
One of the folks at home says, can you please expand on what the nutrient management and lawn care guidance item is referring to?
All right, so this is talking about whether CA could provide more information on nutrient management, post some guidance on best practices for lawn care, talking about things like fertilizing your lawn or soil testing. So providing that more for the community and then potentially more for our own open space.
Okay. Looks like everything else is self-explanatory. So
Yeah.
you guys, that one also we struggled with
Mhm.
trying to really get at what would be the most useful and most direct. But okay, so we're at 28, so I think we'll give it 1 more minute, but looks like you guys are navigating the tool pretty well. And so far, it looks like tree planting is the highest for what CA should prioritize.
Locally generated fertilizer versus commercial is not as popular for this crowd.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah. And conservation landscaping is second, and a close third is rain gardens. Okay. All right, so let's see if we get 1 more. All right. Oh, 1 more. Is everybody good in the room,
Push
ready to move
submit
forward?
if you're able to. And we're gonna move
Moving
to the
forward?
next
Okay,
one.
excellent. Okay, here's another rate 1 to 5. What do you care most about? And so a little bit less of a list, but again, still in alphabetical order. So again, take your time with what's, 0, 1 for less important to me, or to very important for the items that you care most about in the community.
And again, you do have a skip option if you're very neutral on any of these. Feel free to skip them. We'll see that as well.
Nothing.
Nothing. It's
So, and
how
that's,
you can view it.
yeah, so it just something visually pleasing with the blues and greens, but the colors mean nothing, and that's why they're in alphabetical. We could have gone with all 1 color, but that wouldn't have been as pretty. So I guess we could have gone with the colors
We
back
could have
there.
put CA colors. We could have- I'm partial to blue and green. The options are alphabetical. I don't think we mentioned that.
Yeah, so yeah, so it doesn't mean anything, but just hopefully easier for you to read. But okay, for this one, looks like birds and wildlife is but a very close second is habitats encouraging species diversity.
That is pathways, trails. Oh, sorry. Great question. Yes.
ATV trails or something.
No, I was thinking more transportation on electric bikes or getting to school, alternate transportation, but using the pathways and trails. Yes. It's
Okay. All right, so it looks like a number of you guys are good to move forward. Okay. Another rate, 1 through 5. What are your favorite community areas and amenities? So list your least favorite to your most favorite. And again, alphabetical order, so we're not trying to direct you to anything specific. Oh, and we're right on. Yep. Sure. So on the bottom right, sometimes you mean there's like a squiggly arrow, hit refresh, and then that should get you caught up. That happens sometimes. It just gets stuck in the internet. Did that work? Should be like at the toolbar or where the address bar is. Let me see. That's okay. You can come back to it. So just okay. And then, so right down here is a squiggly arrow, and that'll just refresh it for you. Is anybody else having any issues?
There should
Okay.
be signs with a QR code. There should be signs.
All right, well, we'll just wait so right now we're at 34. I think we usually are around 36.
Yeah, let's give it a minute and let these.
Oh, okay,
Settle.
got some new ones coming in. All right.
See. All right, we've got a couple skips. That's interesting too.
Hmm.
Some people are very neutral about meadows and open fields, which is fair.
And wooded areas are all the way, you can't see.
I can't really see them.
Yeah, so for this one so far, wooded areas is just barely ahead with an average of 4.6.
Mhm.
And then wildlife, very close second with an average of 4.5. And then I guess, yeah, open fields and mowed open space.
Interesting.
Well, that's an average of 2.1. Okay.
So the next question is a different question type.
Okay. Or is everybody ready in the room? Because I know we had some new folks come in. Do you want to? Okay, we're gonna head forward. Okay, so here's the prioritization one. So this one is a little bit different of a question. So this is where you're gonna see them listed 1 through 4, and you're gonna use the fat part of your finger to drag it up. And then you're gonna list them 1 through 4. Once you have them at the top part, then there's arrows
You
for
can
you
move-
to change
Yes.
your priority of 1 through 4.
So this is prioritize the following goals based on your level of importance, from first, most important, to fourth, maybe least important to me. And I can read them out while you're all reading them as well.
Is everybody seeing how to move them?
Yes.
So
They're not moving.
oh wait, we got a
Somebody
couple.
did it.
So you'll want to take the fat part of your finger and slide it up to that
Drag
gray
them up.
part.
It's not dragging.
Oh.
Oh, tap it. If you tap it, you don't move it, you tap it.
Okay.
And they go up, and then they go up.
Okay. So
Okay.
some people are tapping. and that makes
Oh,
them
and
go up.
maybe is it, because I
Be a
have an
different type.
Apple, is it
I
an
have an Apple,
Android?
Be a different
Maybe.
color. Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
So the different options, just to read them out, we have preserving, maintain, and improving habitats to support native flora and fauna. We have preserve, maintain, and improve local water quality to benefit humans, wildlife, and aquatic life. We have reduced stormwater impacts from impervious areas to help restore and protect streams. And then improve environmentally friendly recreational opportunities for residents and visitors. You have to tap it. Yes, so somebody else mentioned that in the chat. We
Okay.
never had that on our
Yes,
testing,
that-
but
that's-
that's okay.
That's very interesting. Okay. But yeah, okay,
We'll
so
all
you have to
figure it
tap
out.
it and then you're able to
then
move it. Okay.
Finger on it, activate it.
And then you move it.
Hold. Or maybe someone.
Okay. Well, and this
have
is,
open
I figured this is the first one. It'll be a little bit more of a learning curve, and then we'll have other questions like this and you guys will zoom right through like you've done on the other ones.
Everybody will be pros at this type of question by the end.
Yeah. So with 34 votes so far, the first is preserve, maintain, and improve habitats and support native flora and fauna. Okay. Let's see. But I think it's something interesting to note here is that they're all pretty close. I mean, obviously, all of these items are important to you guys, so no, but still, it's not like there's that big of a difference. So, okay, so we're at our magic number of 36, so we're gonna move forward. Okay, so this is the same type of question. Which are the most needed? Prioritize these projects. So these are this is again where you're gonna click on, or I guess touch it to activate it, and then drag it up. So, and these are our projects that CA, I guess, is either has worked on or continuing to work on. So bioretention facilities, rain gardens to slow the flow of water, buffer zones, shoreline protection, dredging in lakes and ponds, outfall repair and channel stabilization in streams, protecting and creating vernal pools, and tree plantings. Right, so yeah, feel free to, if there's,
Leave it at the
you
bottom.
you can skip the question.
Mhm.
Right, and yeah, and if you only want to drag 2 up and then hit submit, that's totally fine too. Yeah. And again, pictures or the colors don't mean anything. But I find it interesting, tree planting again is at the top. So that's definitely a reoccurring theme of trees are important.
We have tree planting.
But don't worry, Mark, later there's some open comments and then you can clarify. So, but yeah,
Yes.
good point.
And this isn't an exhaustive list of what is needed. This is just, mhm. It's a good point though.
Yeah.
It's on mine.
Was it? Vernal pools was actually a late addition. Yes. I heard, yes.
Some village around here somewhere.
All right, so how's everybody doing in the room? Are you guys able to navigate? Everything's good? Okay,
I think
yeah, we got a
some
couple
still
more.
working.
We're waiting for our number of 36, so. And Nancy, everyone's doing okay online?
I think so now. We had someone who said they messed up. They wanted stormwater first. I'm not sure if that was before or after they submitted. Once you've
Right.
submitted, it's submitted.
Yeah, once
Yeah.
you've submitted, but again, there will be a chance later for you to add some comments, but that's where Danielle had mentioned, take your time. We're not in any rush and you guys are moving through these way faster than I thought we would. So, so we can definitely slow down a bit. If you want us to hang out for a minute, we can. But yeah, definitely take your time and make sure you prioritize, we want your voice heard. All right, so we're at 37. So everyone good to move forward? Okay. All right. So CA takes several actions to manage the natural environment. Rate 1 to 5 on your feelings for the following actions. And so when we think of the rating from 1 to 5, 1 would be do less, the middle or neutral would be skip, or do more would be 5. So, and this one's again a longer list. So early detection and rapid response, actions to find and eradicate potential invasive species before spread and harm, monitoring lakes for water quality and algal blooms, mowing, planting natives in meadows and unmeadowed areas or unmowed areas, sorry, removing hazardous trees such as those containing insects or biological damage, restore trees and vegetation growth using reforestation, increasing the canopy cover through tree plantings, and then the training weed warriors and volunteers to identify, remove, and restore open space areas. That's a mouthful.
Okay, Danielle, we've got a question from one of the folks online. They said, what are the typical EDRR actions CA takes towards invasive species?
We do have an EDRR program, early detection, rapid response. There are certain species of invasive plants that we really prioritize, and if we have reports of them, we track them internally, and then we take action immediately to remove them before they can get established. So it depends on what species we're talking about. We have different ones classified differently. Some of the more invasive ones that haven't really hit Columbia, we will try to remove them quicker. Some invasive species are already established, so we do still take action, but it's more of a prioritization based on time. Yes.
Catch them early. Invasive species threat index.
Hazardous trees mean, like,
It's based on.
because they have insects.
number of acres.
We want insects in our trees?
Based on-
Hazardous trees, the insects was more emerald ash borer, ash death removal. So hazard trees that are dead or dying.
Or is this like just
In general,
invasive?
Does a hazard tree include those that are endangered of falling on houses?
yes. So hazard trees typically are people reporting near their home, near pathways where we remove them. We don't usually go into open space and just take trees out.
Is it including things like Princess Tree and Tree of Heaven? Are those counted as hazard trees?
Not in this one. Yes.
Yes, and I also wanted to point out that, again, trees were the highest at 4.6, and that this question specifically gets at to restore trees and vegetative growth using reforestation and increasing the tree canopy. So Mark, I think that gets to your comment that we didn't have the question earlier, wasn't focused on reforestation, but this is, or restoration.
Planning is also restore trees.
Restoring.
Sounds like it's also the help of the tree, not just
Yes.
planting the tree.
Yes. Yes, okay. And oh, wow, we're at 38.
38.
So we're getting more participation. So excellent. All right, so we're going to move forward. Okay, here's another word cloud. What word comes to mind when you think of CA's natural resource management activities? All right. Wildlife management so far, that's the winner. Oh, good. Excellent. All right. Have some lots of different comments. All right.
We think about the current state of management activities, not what we wish they would be.
Mm. So this one, not a lot of agreement on the words because you can see they're all
They're all
small.
small.
So it's a big hodgepodge of a lot of different thoughts. So you'll see from the other ones where some of the words that were repetitive, that a lot of people, where there was consensus, it was bigger. This question does not have consensus.
Very good.
So. Except for deer is very tall, very big,
Yes,
which I think is
and more
strange.
than one deer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Okay. All right, we'll wait just a couple seconds more. All right. I think everyone's ready in this room. I think it hasn't moved for a little bit, so we'll move forward. Okay. This one will be very exciting for the tree lovers. So this is a little bit different. So this one you'll also rate, but it shows as a web here. So you'll still be doing the 1 to 5. Oh, yes, you have a question?
I know, poison ivy is not invasive. It is native and it can cause harm. So we have included poison ivy because some people don't like it. Feel free to rate it however you would like.
Right, so.
That is
right.
the point of the question.
Yes, exactly, because this is, and so we should say, which plant are you most concerned about? So if you're not concerned about poison ivy, right, then you'll leave it at a 0.
And this is not an exhaustive list of our invasives. This is just some of the highlights that we see regularly. Yes.
You really see kudzu regularly in Columbia?
That is one of our EDRRs, so no, but we are concerned if we did see it. So yes, thank you for the clarification. No, it is not yet here.
Don't have autumn olive. Brown,
I should have put that one
and
on.
then Japanese barberry. Brown.
I know. There are many more, yes.
So-
There really are many more.
So, and those again, later, you can enter some free response. So I think that would be good to enter those, a couple of the trees. This one also, Mentimeter does have some, we actually, I think there's 8 options here. That was the maximum that we could do. Like Danielle said, it's not an exhaustive list. So this was the top 8 that we could come up with. We probably could come up with 25. But anyway, so that's where later in the presentation, you can do some free response. And I think that'd be great to provide some other feedback on other species that you guys are concerned about, or at least that CA should be doing some management of.
And then for our webinar participants, you may not have heard it, but it was that we left off autumn olive, Japanese barberry, I heard privet, there's others. for
Right.
sure.
Right. Okay. All right, and so this one actually, everybody is concerned about a bunch except for poison ivy. So the other ones seem to have consensus between 3.3 and 4.0. Okay,
They're all bad.
yeah,
Get to now.
yeah. So English ivy is of the most concern. Okay, all right, we're at 36. We're gonna move forward. Okay. How should we handle management of the following wildlife in the community? This is another one where you're gonna rate 1 to 5, with 1, do nothing, you don't want CA to take action, or 5, where you think you want them to take action, that it's important. So the first one is beavers, manage the habitat by protecting the trees. Deer, control the population levels by reducing or excluding deer from common areas. Geese, control the population levels by reducing or excluding geese from common areas. Mosquitoes and ticks, monitor and encourage source reduction. Mosquitoes, oh, wait, next one. Pollinators and butterflies, protect habitat by providing more pollinator-friendly vegetation.
And feel free to add a skip if you're neutral on any of these topics. And it's from do nothing to take action.
Take action, yes. So
How do you deal with the geese?
Yeah, we go on the common area, gonna help.
Addle their eggs.
You can addle eggs, you could use geese dogs to scare them away from key areas, encourage them to leave the area.
Built a community that geese like.
yeah,
Yes, and we have a lot of resident geese. We do. They don't like to fly away.
I almost hit one on driving here. It crossed, I was like, the
Oh,
main
that's-
road, and I
that
was
is
like,
Columbia
but
geese.
luckily there was no one behind me when I slammed on my brakes. And I was watching behind me, and the geese made it across, but yeah, I was like, oh, what a great community, though. It definitely attracts the wildlife.
So,
Okay, so
We have a
for,
question.
oh, yep,
question from online too. How would mosquitoes and ticks be managed?
So mosquitoes and ticks, so what we thought for this was monitor the populations and encourage source reduction. So my thoughts were an education campaign on residential source reduction, emptying standing water in containers where possible. And then in terms of lakes, ponds, and standing water, would be monitoring, recording any sort of mosquito predators, looking at different types of species that are present. Ticks are another one. There are some ways to treat deer and, you know, maybe discourage the tick populations. They're a little bit more difficult.
Treat the white-footed mouse.
You could treat the mouse, you can make tick tubes.
Let's say.
The two are hand in hand, yes.
Okay. All right, so the highest one here is pollinators and butterflies. So promote habitat and provide more pollinator-friendly vegetation. So that one is pretty much the clear winner at 4.6. The next closest was control the deer population. So, okay, interesting. All right, moving forward. Okay, what outdoor activity do you enjoy the most? So again, rate 1 to 5, with 5 being your favorites. So if there's an item there that you don't enjoy, you can either skip it or, you know, give it a 1, but definitely let us know which ones you love. So we got fishing, bird watching, enjoying play areas, utilizing open fields, and walking or biking on pathways and trails.
Again, not an exhaustive list. If you feel passionately that we missed any of these, feel free
Right.
to let us know at the end in an open-ended
Right.
section.
You don't have frog listening.
No.
Yeah.
Bird watching, yes.
watching.
Yeah, but this one, wow, walking or biking on the pathways and trails, clear winner here. But bird watching is very popular. Okay, oh, and wow, that was quick. We got to 38. You guys are getting fit quicker with these, right? Okay, all right, we're gonna move forward. Okay, what are your favorite spots for fishing? Jackson Pond, Lake Elkhorn? You can tell the
Lake
next.
Kittamuqundi.
Okay, good. Wildlife, and then a smaller pond in Columbia. And yes, so we recently added none for those who
Who don't fish.
don't
which is
fish.
Fine.
They don't want to give away their favorite fishing
They
spot.
don't.
Oh, that's a good
fine as
point.
well.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, yeah, okay, so not many
Not many
fishermen
the
in
room.
Columbia,
That's
okay. All right, got a question in the back?
Kids under 15 would be the ones that would be doing most of the fishing, not the adults.
Oh, really? Oh. Okay.
Good to know.
Wow. I didn't realize. So in this community, most of those that fish are the teenagers? Oh, fun. I think that's actually great. I would thought you were heading in the different direction because my dad was an avid fisherman.
That's fair.
Okay.
Last
Yeah.
time I was fishing a pond, my 33-year-old daughter was 13.
Okay.
Yeah, but also what's interesting here is most people don't fish, but it's pretty even amongst where your favorite spots are. So yeah, I guess, and there's quite a few that, well, only 4 that do that smaller pond in Columbia. So, or smaller ponds. Okay, and look, 39. So we're having more participation. So we love that. All right, so we're moving forward.
We've got 25 people online now. so
Oh, excellent.
you're
Okay.
joining.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what are your favorite spots for bird watching? So this is an open-ended. So tell us what you think. And of course, if you don't bird watch, you can skip it or write skip. All right, excellent. Let me see. So I think it's gonna slide through, or let's see.
Well, it
There
says
we
you can
go.
Press space to group. or
Yeah, I tried to, let's
Does it-
see. It's gonna, let's see what happens. This is doing their AI, so we might decide not.
Yeah.
Let's see, let's go back. Here we are.
So we've-
Okay, skip.
Got some backyards. We've
Yeah.
got some wild lake, the MPEA. Pathways, ponds.
Yeah, lots in the backyard.
42 answers here.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, and of course, I think folks are sending in multiples, which is cool.
That's true.
So bird walks. I don't know how to pronounce that, King's.
King's Contrivance. It's one of the villages.
Okay, awesome.
Combine these later.
Yeah, so Mentimeter has you can see, if you can see it there, it says press a space to show groups. And so we just tried it and it was thinking too long. So in the interest of time, we're not gonna let it do it. But yeah, as part of what we submit, yeah. So it also Mentimeter, yeah, so they'll combine and it'll give you a spreadsheet of yes, because obviously it looks like the most popular is my backyard, which is very nice. Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
Backyard, my backyard, yeah. Yeah, I was like, okay, let's see what happens, but
Mhm.
no. Yeah, there's quite a few backyards. Okay,
Got some variety.
yeah, lots. Okay, all right. We're gonna move forward. We're at 35. Okay,
All right. So here we're going to talk about light pollution. So this is an image from night sky.
yeah, it was night sky. Mhm.
Night sky. Says when we overlight, fail to use timers and sensors, or use the wrong color of light, we can negatively affect migratory birds, pollinators, mammals, including humans. So this light pollution refers to unwanted, too much, or inappropriate artificial light outdoors, and it can have negative impacts. Just as a background.
Okay, so yeah, so this was just an informational slide because the next one you're gonna give your preference. So,
So you can see there's examples of different types of lighting, with the best being no outdoor lighting. Right? You can see the stars, you can see night darkness.
right.
With the worst being that big bright uplight. So better is fully shielded, full cutoff fixtures that direct light downwards only. Those are better for the environment.
Warmer light colors are better.
Warmer light, yes.
Okay, so we'll move forward to, okay, so to reduce light pollution in the evening, would you support CA taking any of the following actions in open spaces and at our facilities? So rate 1 to 5. So initiating a community education campaign about light pollution, installing full cutoff light fixtures to reduce glare and uplighting, set lighting standards for new and replacement lights, or using sensors to dim lights when areas are unoccupied. Okay. Oh, question.
You say set lighting standards for new and replacement lights, is that just for CA property or is that for residents also?
That would be just for CA property, but the community education campaign would be with that in mind. Each village would have to set their covenants if we were gonna enforce that in the community, is my understanding.
What about the commercial spaces, but encouraging?
We could do an education campaign and talk to other commercial buildings as well. I would put that more on the education side, but actually having lighting standards would be for CA owned and operated facilities. Cause we could actually control that.
But this question is actually kind of interesting because you guys want it all, and it's all on this very close to 5. So whereas some of the other ones, you guys were split, but this one, really good consensus with reducing light pollution.
Do you have any
President, I've
skips?
gotten mine.
No skips.
What was that? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, you're gonna skew the results? Okay. All right. Did you submit yet? Because we're at 38. Looks like that's our number lately. Okay, we'll wait a second. But thanks everyone for taking the time to really think through and provide some good feedback. Did you submit? You didn't skew the results, still consensus. All right, we're gonna move forward. Okay, rate these proposed focus areas 1 through 5 for the natural resource management plan. So you're gonna rate 1 to 5 with not important to very important for community engagement, habitat enhancement, invasive and native plant communities, light pollution, reforestation and tree canopy cover, waste and composting, watershed management of the stream, lakes, and ponds, and wildlife management.
So these are all important, at least to me. So think about it. You don't have to rate them all 5s or all 1s, but your feedback on this one, I'm very interested to see. And if you are neutral or don't have any opinions on one, feel free to skip. Again, that's captured as well.
Right, got a
Yes.
question?
Waste composting stations in CA space, is that what that last question refers to?
To look into it, into the feasibility of doing more with waste and composting.
You want me to stick it, move it over? Yeah. So, oh, look, surprise, surprise, reforestation and tree canopy cover is the highest. Yeah, anything with trees, zooms right to the top.
Oh, what is meant? Oh, there's a question. What is meant by habitat enhancement?
Habitat enhancement would be improving the natural habitats for wildlife, improving the plants, just overall improving and enhancing the native habitat. That's a good question. You really, yes.
Okay.
Removing the insults of natural habitats is one of the-
There you go. Removing the insults of natural habitat.
creating ones like vernal pools that have been lost over the
There you go. There you go.
Okay, but this one also pretty good consensus with a lot of most, I'd say more than half are the 4s. The bottom ones are a little less important to folks, but obviously trees, habitat enhancement, and invasive and native plant communities is tied with community engagement.
And so watershed management is action CA takes on our own property and in the community to manage the streams, lakes, and ponds. So it's a variety of things. We do have the watershed management plan available on our website. I want to say it's from 2008. So how much of a focus area should watershed management be in the new natural resource management plan is the goal of this question. Yes.
Yep.
I was gonna say that, I think if you had said deer management rather than wild management, you might have had a higher number on that.
Oh,
Because what, squirrels, you know?
There's other wildlife though, but I think you're right.
yeah.
This started out as kind of our rough outline and kind of tailored to be broader in certain areas. Ideas we thought could be different buckets in the plan, which is why it's wildlife, and then deer would be a bullet under, or a section, a subset. That was the initial thought, but we'll see what comes out based on the importance.
Okay, so 39. So we're inching a little bit higher with the respondents, so we appreciate that. I'm going to move forward. Okay, so now this is actually, this question goes beyond the natural resource management plan. This is getting at your preferences of how should CA notify you about issues such as algal blooms, proposed and planned projects, meetings, events. So this one's really cool to really hear, what do you rank the most? What do you use? How should they notify you? What's the best way for them to reach you?
And this is again the tap and drag or
Yes,
the big
this is-
part of the finger, and then you can reorder them.
Yeah, this is the high-tech one. So, and definitely take your time on this one.
Board packets would be the packets, the agenda, the information that's put out with the board of director meetings, president's reports, things like that.
can't put algae blooms comparable to the other ones.
But okay, looks like so far, not many people read the board packets. Yeah. Okay, but on top of the village newsletters and email blasts, those are going back and forth for first and second. And social media, not so much.
Yeah, that's interesting. Does it show the breakdown?
No, not on this one.
Give some time, because you're still moving around a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, definitely. We're only in the low 30s. We got to get to the upper 30s now.
And I believe you can leave some at the bottom and not
Yeah,
rank them
yeah,
if you
exactly.
don't use
So,
them at all.
right.
So just rank what you would use, what you see.
I find social media, it being fifth, I think that's also might be an age question, right? I would think that that would be higher.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's how I get my news.
This is what we wanted to pull from this. I'm
Yeah.
very curious to hear.
Yeah, so
We
this,
often get asked why people don't know about certain things.
Right.
And so I wanted to learn how CA could better communicate projects, sustainability related matters with the community. So this is,
Algae blooms are a safety problem
it is.
compared to the others that you don't know that they're gonna take down do a project. You'll find out when they start doing it.
How would you like us to tell you ahead of time about proposed and planned projects?
We need to send direct letters to Joel.
And-
Absolutely. We would have to email.
so an email
Joel.
wouldn't be good?
Now,
Well, is it but to be notified, looks like the most popular is to get an email from CA. That makes sense to me. Village newsletters, close second, but yeah, board packets. Is it full of tons of information that you're never gonna see through, so. Okay. Oh, got it, got a question, yeah.
Has CA put out notifications in general in terms of knowing people about the hazards associated with offline?
We've put out blog posts in the past, just in general about algae. We do monitor for algal blooms from May through October. And then if we do detect high levels of either bacteria or harmful algal blooms, we do post about it locally on our, I want to say we post at the lake and then online as well.
Yeah, I just feel like I may be reflecting the name Joel. That most of the time population doesn't, they don't understand how important this is with respect to health hazard, especially since the harmful algae blooms, fresh water tends to be a lot more toxic
Mhm.
than brackish water or salt water. So I just found like when the lake was closed, people
Last summer.
were angry that their walking paths were blocked and you couldn't walk along the lakes. But you don't really want to breathe, touch, be near that stuff. So I just think maybe some kind of for some of these things, maybe a campaign that's involved with whatever you got to have multiple communications perspectives, but it seems like CA needs to start thinking about its lakes.
Mhm.
And dangers that are involved with it with these types of events.
Well, I agree. Education campaigns are always helpful. Like I said, we do monitor for it, so I don't think that's something we communicate very frequently, that a lot of people know we do routinely.
That would be good.
Yes, so yeah, very helpful.
And we're coming close to those open-ended questions, so I think putting that in, again, education campaign about that. There was another question in the back?
Yeah, I think.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, so that's perfect, because I think it might even be the next question where gives you an opportunity to, what else should be done? All right, so we're at 38 people, so we're gonna, everything good online?
So we had,
Oh.
just to chat, I'll read it out. I think it's interesting. How was the meeting advertised? That would heavily influence the results of the question about how people want to be notified. And I was actually just talking with our communications director about that, where we thought that that was also the case. So if people learned about this meeting one way, then that's probably how they're consuming their information, and that would reflect here as well. So great point.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm gonna move forward. Okay, see, now this question might not be as interesting because the last question, social media, was what, fourth?
Near the bottom.
Which was again a surprise to me. So this is, if CA uses social media, which do you use the most? And this, for other questions, you were able to rate. This one, you have to pick one.
Pick
Which
and
one do you use the most?
There is an I don't use social media option, which again is valuable information. So the idea here is if CA were to post on social media,
Nancy mentioned that when we were.
Put that in the comments.
That would have
Yes.
messed up with the spacing and all the blue already. Yeah.
it's not an exhaustive list. There
Right,
are
right.
others as
But
well.
again, we're coming up, I think it's the next question where some of these open-ended, we're gonna spend a little bit more time, and so you can note that. But Facebook, clear winner, but second is I don't use social media. So
Mhm.
this is good. All right, and we're at 38, so I think we'll move forward. And you guys are going way quicker than I expected. So, okay. So if they post physical signage, where are you most likely to see it? So, and I think signage was pretty high up there on the previous question. It was like 3 or 4. Okay. So, bulletin boards at gyms, bulletin boards at the village centers, educational signage near ponds and streams, sandwich, sidewalk signs at project sites, and, trail signs.
So this is of the various physical signage that we use. My thought for educational signage near the ponds and streams, we have some large signboards there where we'll post some information. So do you see that? And then sandwich and sidewalk signs, those I'm picturing more of the corrugated signs,
Mhm.
like the yard sales type signs that we'll put near projects. Sometimes they're a little more official than that, but project site signage. And then trail signs are signs along the trails and the pathways.
Something to do, or are they just sort of random, like billboards along the highway?
For which one? For trail signs? So I believe for trail signs, well, it's if we post physical signage, so this would be, would you notice trail signs? And if it changed, would you see that?
It's like no one except me is going to play tennis at the gym.
No,
Right,
not-
right. I was gonna say bulletin boards are not that popular.
With this crowd, yes.
Correct.
There are bulletin boards at gyms. They have rotating screens at the gyms, and then they have areas you can post paper.
But trail signs, so maybe that's where one of the spots for information about algal blooms,
Could be.
at least for this group, yes, trail signs would be the most popular. And then of course, educational signage near ponds and streams. So, okay,
Skips.
all right. Oh, did anybody skip? No,
No skippers
nope,
here.
no skippers.
That's fine.
Good. All right. Okay, so here is where we talked about numerous times these open-ended, where what can CA do to better serve the community? So these responses are hidden, so we wanted to give you some time to say honestly what you think they should do, what they could do more of, what, mention the algal blooms, anything where the list wasn't exhaustive. You guys had some thoughts on some other species that needs to be managed. So yeah, this is pretty much where we want to spend some time. We have a couple other open-ended questions, but this one is specific to what can they do better to serve the community.
And I believe you can do multiple responses
Yes.
on this one.
Do you have a different topic?
I
Let me
would say
see,
do
let me
separate
see.
ones, but we'll capture it
Yes.
either way. If you want to write us a long paragraph or you want to do separate short ones, that's fine. Yes.
So the other open-ended questions coming up are if you would be interested in being part of a work group to advise CA, and you would provide your name and your email address. And then also just some feedback about the meeting. And that's where you would maybe provide some feedback about how it was advertised. So this one would be the question about how they serve the community, how they manage the community, what maybe a priority for the natural resource management plan that you felt was missed. You know, that something wasn't included on a list, and you can submit multiple responses and you can write as much as you want. And again, it's hidden. So be as candid as you'd like.
And then we are looking at this from the lens of natural resource management plan. So keep that
Correct.
in mind with your responses, but
Yes.
what can we do to better serve the community? We really want to capture the community's feelings here. So this is your chance. If anybody's submitted it, as you can see, all responses are hidden, but we have 16 respondents.
Right, right.
So feel free to.
Great, so we'll spend a little bit of time because we're actually ahead. So yeah, and it might be that 18 have submitted, but maybe they're working on their next
Yep,
piece.
that's fine.
Any other questions online? Everybody?
Yeah, I think we've caught up with the questions.
Okay.
This is the first time the room has been silent.
Yeah,
Everybody's thinking
yeah,
very
good, good,
hard.
good.
Yes.
Right
Write 'em down.
Perfect, which is exactly how it's supposed to be. Gathering comments through Menti.
Yes.
And we won't move forward till everybody looks up. Sure.
Sure.
Bird-safe buildings.
Mm.
One of the biggest things we can do as a community is to reduce the number of birds, which is in the hundreds of thousands, every year flying into window glass. Yeah. We have a state law, we have a county law that applies only to new buildings.
Oh.
There's many, of course, the majority of buildings are existing buildings. Anything CA can do that on their facilities and educating and incentivizing the public to do the same would have the biggest impact on life.
Did you put that in? Okay, excellent.
Yeah, that's a topic we haven't done education campaigns on in the past, or at least I'm not familiar with that. So, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, this Thursday.
It's Thursday.
About bird safe buildings?
There's a new bird safe building.
Bird-safe buildings for architects, but anyone is welcome.
Oh,
It's at the Collard Foundation Complex, which is the new building, math and athletic building. It'll be at 11:30 for lunch. 12 o'clock, we'll have American Bird Conservancy talking. I'll be there, and the architect of that building will be there to do a tour of that bird safe building. The first one built under the county law.
So for those on the webinar version, we are talking about bird safe buildings. Howard Community College on this Thursday at 11 is having a tour of their new bird safe building.
Trying to think of the best way to find, show up and we'll take you. Registration, but it's also on, and there's plenty of seats in person, but you can also do it online, so.
Mhm.
It's the best way to do it. And send me
Email
an
Bob, email Mark.
I was gonna say,
Bob, Marietta, or me.
or
Okay.
maybe if there's someone online who wanted some information about the bird safe building that you couldn't hear, then comment in the chat, and then
Yeah, and we can get you information on
then
that.
Nancy can reply back.
Yes.
Apparently, there's gonna be a tour by the architect of the building for the bird safe building. Okay, and we're gonna, yep.
One thing we didn't talk about today is salt management and education to residents and homeowners and village centers. And also, but the Isaac Walton League is actually a good resource for education and outreach. And I believe they recently gave a webinar on how to set up a contract for like salt, that's, you know, smart salting for salt management plans. And people just in general need to know there's no such thing as environmentally friendly salt or salt alternative. So there's a big topic there that if we do all of these wonderful things and we don't do salt, we're not protecting our aquatic resources.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so that was salt
I was gonna say.
management for people on the webinar. That's a great point. And you submitted that just so it's
Yeah,
recorded?
if it went through. Yes.
Okay.
It should. We have
Okay.
35
I made a
submittals.
note here as well.
Yeah.
But yes, that's a great point.
Was there another question in the back? Okay. Oh, good.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. So we'll still wait. Again, we're ahead on our time, and looks like you guys are still typing and providing comments. So we'll hang out for a little bit.
Oh. And Pam put the building tour information in the chat. Thank you, Pam. Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Oh, right. Nobody can see that. Yes.
All right, but we really appreciate all this participation. So certainly on the open-ended, a lot of times when we've done Mentimeter for public meetings, this one is skipped. So again, you guys providing the time and the thoughtful responses is really going to be helpful.
Appreciate you inviting.
But I think we'll still wait. I still see heads down typing. So and hopefully those of you online are continuing to submit. Because once I move forward, then you won't be able to. So we want to make sure you have as much time as you need. Any other public engagement events happening, Mark, in the while we're waiting?
But, that kind of stuff always going on.
Green fence.
Still, right, Kate, we can't advertise that. We still have to walk the vernal pools next month.
Yeah, it's full, but we do have a full walk.
Oh, okay.
A vernal pool walk on Monday in Kingston Drive-ins. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yes.
got another question?
It's a comment.
Okay.
So one of the things you haven't talked about, you talked about educational campaigns, but not necessarily working with the villages
Mhm.
to get changes made at the RAC level and what's in those guidelines for residents.
Mhm.
So is that going to be, it should be a thing, I want to say.
It should be a thing. It should be a thing. Did you put that in? Perfect. Yes.
Do you want to repeat that for the?
Yes, so one thing that we neglected to include in here is working closer with the villages to update rec guidelines, covenants, etc. for certain things, providing guidance. They're all different. Every village is different in terms of what they allow, what they don't allow, what their covenants or their rec guidelines allow. So having CA talk to them about some of these sustainability items and unifying a little bit more. Yeah,
What are
that
the RAC guidelines? Is it
the
same?
residential architectural committee. So you'd think they're all the same, but they're not. Each one is a little different in each village.
Okay.
So yes, that's a good point. Something we could look into.
Okay, so I see one person still typing, so,
Right.
but we have, this is our most popular for participation,
40
right? We got up to
people,
40
40.
people. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, is everybody ready in the room to move forward? Oh, wait, no. Was it a wave saying yes or a wave saying no?
Was a no.
How about online? I'm gonna ask if anybody online.
Few more
has any-
minutes, please.
Oh, okay, okay,
Sure,
all right,
Sure.
Okay.
okay. Excellent.
So the current plan is the board meeting on April 10th. I'm gonna give a quick summary of this community meeting. Because the board is interested in the natural resource management plan. And Eric Walker and I will also be talking about our invasive species management program at that board meeting. FYI to the community.
Which one?
April 10th.
Basic.
Invasives, but then also a summary of this community meeting. And then May 1 in FY 26, we hope to put out the RFP, not on May 1st, but to look for a consultant to help us actually draft this. The current thought is to do another community input round at a later date. So like I said, there will be an opportunity for future input, which when we switch to the next question, if you are interested in being part of the work group during that process, you can provide us your information. You can also use that as a chance to let us know if you want us to follow up through the process.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to hear the summary of this meeting, the board meeting is the only way to get that, or will you be putting it out on billboards along with?
She's gonna be put on the bulletin boards at the gym.
Yeah, bulletin boards at gym is where I will be posting it. That's a great question. I should have all the, well, yes, from the sign-in sheet and then RSVPs, registrations, yes. This is also recorded, so if anyone wants that, I can send it to you. If anybody wants any specific follow-up information, I've got the sustainability email address at the end, so I can respond directly. That goes to me and my team. We do plan to do other follow-up, other summary. I'm just not sure what it'll look like yet. But yes, feel free to put that down and I'll make a note here. Yes.
But also the nice thing about this format is you saw most of the results, right? So, right. Well, this one is hidden just so we can allow people to be a little bit more candid. But all the other ones, I mean, that's the whole, you guys are voting together and you can see what is, you guys here in person and online. So I think we had, what, a total of about 40 people? But I guess it's more now, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's about 40.
So, but yeah, this is the one where what else can we do? So, but everything else you guys saw. All right. Are we all set in this room? Is everyone ready to move forward? Okay, so I think we'll move forward in the interest of time. No, we have,
This one and then any feedback on the meeting.
okay. So this is where if you would interested in be part of a work group to advise CA on the development of the natural resource management plan, please provide your name and your email. And so this one's
You don't
also
have
hidden
to-
just for.
Yeah, it's hidden. Nobody else in the room will see it. You don't have to if you don't want to. No pressure.
Right.
Trying not to be a jerk, but I do have to go.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye.
She's so popular.
Keep going.
Okay, so there's a bunch that 14 people so far are interested in being part of your work group.
It'll be a busy work group.
15 now.
Yes.
Just a clarifier, again, Danielle.
Yes.
The intent is to collapse a number of different plans into the natural resource plan?
Not necessarily. No, we want to build off the existing plans. So kind of to shape the future. So we don't want to get rid of the old plans and condense them. We want them to serve as kind of the building blocks for the new plan. So what's been done? What could we do better? What is there left to do, essentially? So building off and expanding is the thought.
So the watershed management plan is, old.
Oh, wait, yes.
Yeah, so like, would there be like okay, we did this, but then we're gonna, I mean.
Potentially, and we also have a forest stewardship plan that could be updated. Yes, there are a couple plans that we may need to redo on their own, not necessarily part of this. So that's kind of what we're looking to learn.
Or at least redefine objectives.
Exactly. Yes.
It's comprehensive space plan that was done now.
Right. So we would pull in all of these documents, foundational, to help us with this.
Yes, and I'd also figure for the watershed plan, 2009 was when Mark said he submitted on Earth Day.
which is actually kind of cool. I would imagine that you completed some objectives in that, so somewhere there's a list.
There is definitely a list. Yes.
There's the guidance in there.
There is a lot of guidance in there. Yes. It's, well, I don't think it's ignored, but it needs some updating. I would agree.
So I'm
Yes.
gonna move forward and then we can continue the conversation, but we've been staying at 26, so only 26 want to be part of your work group.
That's enough. for me.
Okay. All right, so this is the last slide for you to provide feedback. So thank you for attending. Do you have any feedback specific about this meeting? What worked well? How can we improve? So this is where if you felt like it should be advertised a different way or other ways, more expansive, stick that here. This one is also responses are hidden. Did you like this format? Did you like the interactivity with Mentimeter for you guys to vote and provide your individual feedback? And then we had a little bit of discussion, but mostly we wanted you to capture that discussion through Mentimeter. So just give us any feedback of how this worked. And then so that Danielle knows for moving forward for development of the plan, there's going to be a work group, but then also additional community meetings. How do you guys want to provide your feedback? And then folks online, tell us how it worked online. You're able to, be a lot of times with online meetings, you get ignored, but not here. So Nancy was answering your questions and chat. And so did this work out well for those of you that weren't able to come in person? Yep. And this is our last slide, at least for getting your feedback. So this is your last chance. We only had, 25
Yes.
opportunities? So this was it. This is the last one. The last slide after this, when you guys are leaving, we have the sustainability email address and then a website if you wanted to go to for more information. So we'll show that after. But again, we don't want to move forward until everyone's had a chance to submit some feedback.
So if you go home and you're sleeping on something and you wake up thinking about it, something, you can email it in.
Yes,
Email it.
yes, exactly.
What do you think about the age demographic?
In terms of what responses were captured? Oh, that's interesting.
So I think you have to go where the fishermen are, because I thought that was interesting. So the younger demographic is fishing. But you're saying that because most of the people here are older, so you want to get feedback from the younger residents, or what?
You have a cell phone based thing and
It is interesting.
I haven't seen anybody here who were 1980.
No judgment.
But wait a minute, but email, what was
Yes,
that?
we do have additional participants online.
Yeah, but do you mean that the cell phone didn't work out? Because it seems like everybody has a smartphone, so it's
Almost
okay.
every-
The question was, basically, there's a lot of gray hair in the room as compared to the overall constituents of CA.
Right.
That, I think, is, the general volunteerism runs towards gray hairs in this first place. But, this is something that needs to be addressed as part of the plan.
Well, but I also feel like having a hybrid option allows people, maybe like myself with young kids who can't come out and be here in person, they can do this from home. That's an option for them.
I've heard from a few people engaging online and they've got kids at home.
Right. So
Yeah,
we did try to think through that.
and when you're carrying around the handheld, you can do dishes, sit it there. But it seems like everybody has a smartphone or access to the internet. So I think this format, at least it was accessible to those who participated, right? Did you had one or two issues online with?
No, there was at least one person in the room who, just didn't feel comfortable doing it online. I said, well, there's also on the final slide, we've got, contact information. You could send something in.
Oh, okay,
It didn't have to
okay.
be through this.
Oh, perfect.
Yes,
Okay, okay, yeah,
Just, email follow-up.
right. Oh.
Yes.
Able to reach like the high school kids through environmental programs, through the high school programs. We've been successful with our worship stewards, engaged students. It's pretty easy to do that. And I think you could audience with the teachers. So.
That's a great idea. So the comment was engaging young students through the environmental groups.
Piggyback in that environment, Youth Climate Institute kids and most of the high schools are the ones who really engage. So that gets invested in.
And Youth Climate Institute is a good resource as well. So thank you. The Youth Climate Institute, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's great feedback. So
Yeah,
that's
that's really
definitely,
Great shot.
DA
was
will
that?
be there.
Only get a big table with the light that Jeremy has and give out light bulbs. You're gonna encourage people to participate in your thing, or you could have a seminar, but they still have room for you to sign up.
So, someone from my team is giving a seminar. Eric will be doing a talk at Greenfest. CA has a table at Greenfest, so we are gonna be doing, I believe we're gonna have our invasive plant display and some handout information. We will also be doing the light bulb handout. So
Right, but you need to encourage younger people
to participate, yes,
to figure out a table
to pull in
to
the
bring in some games.
We do, I was thinking about a game. It is rapidly approaching though, so.
I can tell you about some games we've done for
Okay.
Chesapeake Bay program and Prince George's County.
Okay,
Very popular is Scoop the Poop.
seen that before. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, we helped do the Smithsonian, the Folklife Festival 2 years ago.
Okay.
Chesapeake Bay program had a giant booth and we did a couple games for them, so
That's fun.
I can
Okay.
tell you some of those. Anyway,
Great.
but also, let me just say, a bunch of the adults were playing the games too.
I know.
So, yeah, so, all right, I'm still seeing some eyes down, so we'll still hang out on this one for a little while.
And it looks like we've got some people logging off. This is our last question. If you're online, feel free to.
Nancy, do you want to give them the sustainability email? Did you already share
On
that?
the last slide.
But, so she was saying some people are logging off.
Oh,
So
okay.
just for those that are,
Yeah.
folks in here will see it, but then those online. But yeah, it looks like some folks are still working. So again, I appreciate all the feedback. And,
I'm texting with one of those parents who was.
oh, okay. Multitasking. We get it. Okay. Well, I still see, is everybody ready? Well, again, this is the last slide to provide feedback, but is everybody ready to move on just to the last slide? And it's only informational.
Yeah. This
So,
concludes our meeting.
yes, so here we are.
All right, so yes, so thank you all. Like I said, there will be additional opportunities to participate. April 10th, there'll be a summary of today's meeting with some of the results you guys have seen.
Yep.
Thank you so much for participating. The sustainability team email address is at the bottom, so feel free to email us about any issue you would like. Yes.
Did sign up to, when would we hear back?
So if you provided your name and email to be part of a work group, my current thought is to have the consultant, once they come on board, do another community meeting. So it would probably be around then. So if we put the RFP out in May, June, they're awarded in July, maybe August would be my thought for when we would do the next round. But that's all sort of in my head in development right now. But I will be tracking who submitted that. I'm not gonna share those names specifically at board meeting, but we will have that and we will, use that. But yes, if you want more information, or if you want a copy of this recording, if you think of anything later, feel free to email us. That sustainability email address goes to me and team. Then if
Okay.
you want to learn about sustainability programming and Weed Warriors or Adopt a Spot or Stream Waders or any of the other fun things we do, there's a link here, columbiaassociation.org/sustainability.
All right.
And that is all. So thank you all. We are right at time.
We are. That's amazing.
Thanks to everybody.
Yay. Thank you guys.
Thank you all. All right, have a great night.
Oh.